Yeah.
So you took me to exactly where I wanted to go, which is what are some of the most unethical ways that people use influence? There are obviously the extremes that we see in the movies, the con artists, but are there kind of day-to-day ways or even ways that you're seeing, for example, with technology that scare you, that sort of is taking this notion of influence in a direction that isn't socially valuable in the way that you just described?
Yeah, so for example, the influencers, these people who are on our digital environment and who push various kinds of products or services, they tend to be, there's new research, if they are physically attractive, if we like them more just for that, they're significantly more likely to get a cent for any product or service that they promote, even though we may know that they're being paid to do so, right? These are the kinds of primal tendencies. I used to say primitive. That's the wrong word because it sounds like they're blunt or somehow crude. Primal, they're elemental tendencies in us that we have evolved into, either genetically or have been socialized into, to usually do well. And as the world becomes more technologically advanced and information is more is overloaded into this system, we don't have the time or resources to step back and analyze the pros and cons of all of the options and decisions and choices we are exposed to these days. And so we use these principles, these heuristics, that if they're in the situation, that's enough to evoke the response.
So there's so many things about what you just said that go to the core of the ethics of all of this. One is that heuristics is sort of by definition, any kind of shortcut means that we're not fully informing ourselves.
Right.
The other is that when you're talking about people who are some very specific definition of attractive or likable, to use your word, what does that do to all of the effort that we've been making in society for diversity, inclusion, being open-minded, listening to different types of voices? So what we see in these influencers is there's some diversity, but that certainly isn't the primary objective or necessarily the most highly paid.
Or even when there is diversity, it's to subgroups who are like them.
Right.
So it's not diverse, except in the broader sense that doesn't involve the dyad, doesn't involve that particular interaction. Yeah.